I like that you're broken like me. Maybe that makes me a fool. I like that you're lonely like me. I could be lonely with you. I met you late night at a party, some trust fund babies, Brooklyn loft. By the bathroom you said let's talk, but my confidence is wearing off. 'Cause these aren't my people, these aren't my friends. She grabbed my face and that's when she said, I like that you're broken like me. Maybe that makes me a fool. I like that you're lonely like me. I could be lonely with you. There's something tragic but almost pure. I think I could love you, but I'm not sure. There's something wholesome, something sweet tucked in your eyes that I'd love to meet. But these aren't my people, these aren't my friends. She grabbed my face and that's when she said, I like that you're broken like me. Maybe that makes me a fool. I like that you're lonely like me. I could be lonely with you. Love is not a love song that we like, or we're all broken pieces floating by. Life is not a love song that we can try to fix our broken pieces one at a time. I like that you're broken like me. Maybe that makes me a fool. I like that you're lonely like me. I could be lonely with you. I like that you're broken like me. Maybe that makes me a fool. I like that you're lonely like me. I could be lonely with you. Hey, how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out Broken by Lovely the Band. This is a really nice song for beginners, mostly easy open chords. There is a B minor bar chord in the bridge, only happens twice, and there's a nice easy little cheat around that I'll show you when we get to it. Also going to show you how to pick out that little melody part as well for more advanced guitar players that want to start incorporating some other elements in. This is a really nice song for adding in these extra notes into your simple chords. So let's get to a close-up and check it out. So the chords for the intro and the chorus are E minor to C to G to D. It's one bar each. There's a couple of nice little variations that you might like to try out. The first one, E minor, you're not going to do too much to, but the second chord, C, you can actually play a C major 7 here, which is just like a C, but you lift off your first finger. So it's in a lot of ways kind of easier. The reason that works is when we do this little melody, you can see there we're actually using that note, open second string there. So C major 7, nice option there. With the G chord, doesn't matter if you want to use fingers 2 and 3 or 3 and 4. 3 and 4 feels easier for me in this situation, but it's completely up to you, whichever one you feel comfortable with. I wouldn't recommend using this full grip with the first finger on. I feel like it muddies up that particular chord in this circumstance. And then for the D, you can play regular D, or you can lift off your first finger there and play a D. It's called a D sus2, but you can just think of it as a D chord but with your second finger lifted off. So kind of only using 2 fingers here for the E minor. The C major 7 is also a 2-finger chord. G is a 2-finger chord. You can use fingers 2 and 3. And the D sus2 is a 2-finger chord. Okay, so E minor, C C major 7, G, D sus2. Now, strumming here, probably what you want to be thinking about with this song is doing a strumming pattern like Old Faithful or something similar to that, something fairly busy for the choruses and breaking it right down for the verses. If you try and use the same strumming pattern all the way through, it's going to start sounding pretty boring. But that's great because it means that it keeps it nice and simple there for the verses. So I'd probably start off with Old Faithful, so down, down, up, down, 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 up, down, 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 up, down, down. That's a nice one. I like that you're broken. C like me, G that makes me a D, E minor that you're lonely, C chord like me, G could be lonely with D. Now once we get to the verses, the chord progression changes. The verse and the pre-chorus have the same chord progression. So we want to start with an A minor for 1 bar, then E minor for 1 bar, G for 1 bar, and D for 1 bar. Now I'd actually suggest that you strum less than that. I'm just doing 4 strums to the bar to make sure that you're totally clear that we've got 1 bar on each one of those chords. Do remember, if you're struggling with any of the chords, do go and check out the beginner course on my website. I've got free lessons for all of this and much more detail on how to play the chords, how to practice your chord changes, how to perfect your strumming, how to make your strumming nice and smooth. All of that good stuff is over there, so go and check it out. It's all still free. So back to the song. What I'd suggest you do is just 1 strum per bar. So A minor, 2, 3, 4, E minor. Just strumming on beat 1, 3, 4, D. I met you A minor at E minor, some trust fund G chords, Brooklyn D. By the A minor you said let's E minor, but my G chord is wearing D. These aren't A minor, these aren't E minor. She grabbed my G and that's when she D. And back to the chorus, C chord, G is going to D. So with the verse and the pre-chorus, you want to start real simple with just that single strum on beat 1. But if you're doing my beginner course, you're going to understand how important it is that you keep your hand moving. And if it happens to strum a few extra strums, it doesn't really matter. So you might start off with 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. But you can see my hand is still moving. And if I accidentally or deliberately A minor, I'm just kind of letting it happen. So I might start adding a few extra strums in there. I'm still targeting 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, and 4, 1, 2. So it's a really great thing to practice is doing this single strum, keeping your hand moving. You should be able to do that. I'm still feeling 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And then if I want to add in or not, you might choose to add in a few in a consistent pattern like that, or it might be a bit more random. You might start with it real simple. So for the verse, maybe it starts like that, really, really just empty. And as you go, people, these aren't my friends, da 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 face, and that's when she said. And definitely on that last D, you probably said 2, 3. I like that you're broken, broke. So just coming into that chorus, you're going to have a pause there on the D. It's called a pop stop. Very, very common pop production technique to have that little lull just before it goes into the chorus. And it's really important for people, especially if you're going to play this like a campfire thing and you want people to sing along with you, bringing it right down for the verses helps everyone sing along. Or if they're not singing along, they're going to be listening to you sing. They're going to be listening to the story, and having that little stop and then making it big for the chorus, that's their cue for, oh, it's sing along time now. And if you're playing a little louder, you're going to get them singing louder as well. So these little dynamic things can be quite a big deal. Now, after that first chorus, it does a verse, pre-chorus, another chorus, then it does the little melody thing, which I'm going to come back to in just a sec, and then it goes to the bridge. The bridge has a B minor bar chord in it, and if you're new to guitar, B minor is going to be like, yeah, nah, mate, I'm not having that. I'm going to show it to you first of all with the proper B minor, and then we'll go through and I'll show you a nice little cheat, because we can actually use a D chord instead. Super nice. So we will have gone from this, whether you're doing the melody or not. Life is not B minor, going to E minor. We're all broken A minors, going to D. Life is not B minor, we can E minor to fix our broken A minor to a D. 2, 3. There's an extra long break before we get back to the chorus again. There is an even longer pop stop. Okay, the bridge again, so it's gone from the there. Life is not B minor to E minor, then it's A minor going to D. Life is not a B minor going to E minor, fix our broken A minor that we D. So it's the same chord progression around twice. But let's have a look at this B minor here. Now, B minor requires a full bar with the first finger. It is only playing the fifth string and the thinner string. Needs to mute the thicker string at the same time. Second finger will go down 3 frets above the capo, and third and fourth fingers going 4 frets above the capo on the middle 2 strings. It's probably one of the easier bar chords, but this far up the neck, and if you're early on in your guitar journey, this is probably not a good chord. But let me show you a cool little trick, a substitute for B minor. It doesn't work all the time, but it works very often. So if you ever encounter a B minor, you might want to try this trick. Here's a B minor. If we lift off our little finger, we end up with this chord. It's called a B minor 7. Now the top part of the B minor 7 looks very much like a D. So instead of having that B minor, we can actually play a D. Listen. It's really, really similar, right? So it's not the same, but in this particular song it works. It's actually going from the D sus, from this, life is not a love song that we like. We're all broken pieces floating by. Life is not a love song we can try to fix our broken pieces one at a time. So you can hear it works perfectly well with the melody there. So it's definitely something to explore if you're struggling with your B minor. You just might forget the bridge and just not play that bit. But a lot of people won't remember the bridge anyway. Bridges are famous for people not remembering them, especially if you're doing a sing song. A lot of people will know all of the chords for a song, get to the bridge and go, oh, there's this other bit, and then just kind of fumble their way through. Now, for more advanced guitar players, I want to show you how to do this picking out of the melody at the same time. Again, if you're new to guitar, have a go at it, but there's not going to be any danger. You're not going to injure yourself if you try and play it. The worst thing that can happen is you feel frustrated because you can't do it. But if you're new to guitar, what I'm about to show you is a little bit tricky, more than a little bit tricky. So don't feel upset if you can't do it, okay? But it's a nice little thing to have a bit of a play around with. Okay, so let me do it slowly. Again, E minor. You probably want to learn it like that first of all, and then if you want to get into it, you can start trying to strum more. So when I'm feeling it, I'm kind of strumming quite a lot. And that kind of thing just takes practice. Knowing what you're doing, being super consistent with the strumming hand. Remember, that's the key thing for strumming, especially for beginners, is the consistency of the motion, the down and up motion. There shouldn't be like any of this kind of jerky stuff going on. So even when you're picking up the melody, you want to be using the right down or up pick. There are instances later on where we're going to deviate from that, but to start off with, you really want to think about that, the consistency of that strumming hand. Like I mentioned in the verses where you're just doing a single strum, but you still might want to be 2, 3, 4. You want to try and keep the motion there. Remember, you should be tapping with the beat as well. So you should be tapping your foot, tap, 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 tap. You want to kind of get that little link there between the down feeling of the hand and the tap of the foot. Okay, again, all of these things are covered in great detail over on the website, so do go and check out the beginner course. If you like the play along track thing, do remember to go and check out the Lessons and Songs app, available on the App Store and the Google Play Store as well. So Apple and Android devices. Really, really useful for beginners to be playing along and not stopping, because again, that keeping that hand moving consistently. If you get into the habit of allowing yourself to go really bad habit. Okay, you want to just remove the strumming. If you're having to do that, just get rid of the strumming together and just go. Just go for that. Much better than stopping, and it's just such a bad habit. So don't do it. That's the key feature of that Lessons and Songs app and learning with backing tracks, is that you'll never develop that bad habit. It's quite a big deal. Anyway, really hope you have loads of fun with this tune and plenty more songs over on the site. Of course, have yourself an absolutely fantastic day, and I'll see you plenty more very soon. Bye bye.